Hey everyone, I'm ExitSign250 and welcome to Signal Setup, Episode 2. I decided to change the name of the series from Traffic Signals to Signal Setup, mainly because I like the name Signal Setup a lot better than just saying Traffic Signals. So this is the same series, it just has a new title now. So in this episode, I do have a lot of new changes, and these changes I've wanted to do for a very long time, and I'm glad that they're done, and I'm excited to show them off. So here we are in my backyard. We have the same LFE 12-inch 3-section red, yellow, green signal. There is one small change with it, and that is with the bulbs inside of it. So this signal is incandescent, and I've used incandescent bulbs in it ever since it was originally installed out here, over 10 years ago. And I've replaced them whenever they burned out and all that stuff. But just recently I decided to replace the incandescent bulbs with these new LED ones. These are 100 watt equivalent LED bulbs, so they simulate being a 100 watt bulb, but in reality I think they take up like 10 or 13 watts. So they save power, and they are bright, a lot brighter than the old 70 watt bulbs that I used. They don't get as hot either, but it still retains the classic incandescent look, which I like. I didn't want to put in the new traffic signal LED inserts because I don't really like them. I like incandescent signals a lot more, but I do like the benefits of using LED. So that's what I did here, just a small change, but I think it still looks good. Moving on to the signs, we have this larger stop sign installed. I actually think this is a standard size of stop sign, but it's actually one of the larger ones in my collection. I did get this from a real street. This was a few years ago. There was a parking lot near me that was getting redone, and I noticed there were some construction people replacing this stop sign, and I asked for it, and they gave it to me. Underneath it, we have this one-way sign. I think this is an older style of one-way sign. Typically, when you think of a one-way sign, it looks like this, kind of more rectangle and horizontal. But I do like this style, which maybe would be considered vertical. I don't even know if the two types of one-way signs even have official names. There are some paint chippings on it, and there's some holes in it as well, but I think that gives the sign a bit more character. So now I want to show off the new addition out here, and this is what I was saying I've wanted to do for a very long time, and it is actually to the left of this signal. So if we come over here, we can see there is a new post in the ground, and coming up we have a brand new signal. This is a TCT 1288 incandescent traffic signal. It's in very good condition. The paint on it looks great. Again, this signal is incandescent, but I also have LED bulbs installed inside of it, just like the LFE right here. There is a 100 watt equivalent LED bulb in the red section, the 12-inch section, and for the two 8-inch sections, there is a 70 watt equivalent bulb. It actually has glass lenses, and that's pretty unique. I don't have any glass lens signals in my collection. Something a little annoying about it is the previous owner actually installed these rocker switches on each section. The way he wired it is when you would flip a switch, it would turn on the whatever section that it's on. But I don't have them wired up because, real signals don't have that. And I wish I could remove them, but if I did, there'd be these big holes in each section. So I might try to touch them up with a yellow paint so they won't stand out as much. Here is the post for the signal. This is 1-inch galvanized steel pipe, and this section is 4 feet long. Down close to the ground line, you can see there's a coupling right here with another section that goes in the ground, and there's actually concrete around the underground post, so this signal is not going anywhere. It does sway a little bit, but it's pretty secure. And right here we have a 1-inch to 1.5-inch adapter, which takes the 1-inch pipe and turns it into 1.5-inch, because the signal's mounting hole is 1.5-inch, and I believe that's standard with all signals. But yeah, I think it looks really good out here. And here's the overall setup. Again, this is something I've wanted for a very long time. I wanted two signals facing two different directions and cycling back and forth. I really like it, and I think it looks good out here. But you might be wondering, well, what's controlling everything? That's where we have a new change, and it's behind the LFE. You might remember in the last episode I had this older controller installed. There was a weatherproof back box right here, and there was some basic lights to go controller inside of it that just does one signal, red, yellow, green. However, I replaced that and installed this new homemade signal controller. So yes, I built this controller from scratch, and I'm really proud of it. So this is the cabinet for it, which I like the looks of, and we'll go ahead and pop open these little flaps and look on the inside. So there's some stuff going on, and I'll briefly explain it. This is the main display. You can see it says traffic signal controller. Here is the AC power light indicating that the controller does have power. This is a flash mode button, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Here is the brains of everything. This is an Arduino Uno. Actually, it's a generic Arduino Uno, but it still does the job. This has the programming in it, which has the sequences to change the signals. And right here we have a solid state relay board, which actually physically turns the signals on and off and controls which light is lit inside of one. It's a really nice controller, and I think the project turned out nicely. Okay, so now I want to demonstrate what the flash mode button does. So currently the signals are in normal operation, and if we press the button, you can see these LEDs are now flashing back and forth. And if we look at the signals, they are now flashing, as you can tell, and they alternate back and forth. So the LFE signal right here is flashing yellow, and the TCT is flashing red. If we were to pretend that my backyard is an intersection, I'd consider the LFE signal on the main street and the TCT on the side street. That's not all though. If we press the button another time and check the signals out, now it's doing the reverse. You can see the TCT is flashing yellow while the LFE is flashing red. So like I said, it's pretty much just the reverse of the last pattern. There is another thing programmed in. We'll press the button another time, and now both the signals are flashing red, so it's like a always stop, as you can tell, which some intersections use this. I do have one more flash pattern programmed in. Press the button. This one's kind of unique, and I don't really see a lot of intersections use it, and that is yellow-red flash, or red-yellow flash. And again, they alternate, which I think is really cool. Like I said, I've never personally been in an intersection that's used this flash pattern, and to be honest, I don't know what it means. It's again pretty much a combination of flashing yellow and flashing red. I have heard some people say that this indicates to drivers that the intersection is being controlled by a police officer or a construction worker or something, but I don't know if that's true. I have done some research, not a lot, and I haven't found any evidence that's backed that up, but I think it is definitely a unique pattern. Once I've gone through all of the flash patterns and I want to change the signals back to normal operation, I just press the button a final time, and now the signals will go back to their normal sequence. That is the current setup out here. I do plan on adding more in the future, possibly some pedestrian signals, some protected right or protected left arrow signals, and maybe a flashing yellow arrow signal if I ever get one. But that's the cool thing with my homemade controller, that I can actually add some stuff in. I can just put in a program and put in some new signals instead of trying to figure it out on a normal traffic signal controller. But anyway, that's what's out here. Let's go ahead and check out what's in my room. Here we are in my room, and we still have the same pedestrian signal demo. However, I did make a minor change with it, and that is I replaced the pedestrian signal insert. In the last video, I had my GE pedestrian insert installed. However, I mentioned in that video I do not like how you can see the individual LEDs on the symbols, and I referenced another signal that just looked like the symbols and you couldn't see the individual LEDs, and this is the insert I was talking about. If we zoom in closer, you can see it's just the symbol. You don't see the individual LEDs, like I said, and I prefer pedestrian signals that look like this. I don't know exactly who makes this insert. I feel like it's like EOI, but I've never heard of them, and I couldn't find anything on the company, so don't really know who they are. But I do like the signal. I did some programming changes as well. I think the pedestrian signal used to be like 10 seconds hand, 10 seconds man, with a 10-second countdown, but as you just saw, this does a 25-second countdown, and the hand is on for 30 seconds, and the man is on for 30 seconds as well. So I just wanted to extend it out because I thought the original sequence that I had set was just a bit too fast, so I just slowed it down. And I like to see it do the countdown and not just last for 10 seconds. So here it is. Nothing too special about it. Like I said, I do like this new insert. Same ICC housing, nothing new there. Same color scheme as last time. So yeah, that's the pedestrian signal in my room, and I think it still looks good. Well, that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of this new signal installed right here and the new pedestrian insert in my room. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.